My name is Julie Donahue-Belubo, and I am the Education, Literacy, and Gender Specialist for Code Canada. Code Canada is an organization based in Canada but works in currently six countries across sub-Saharan Africa. Right now, we're talking about the TLFC project, Teaching and Learning in Fragile Contexts, where Code has come in not only with book development, which has been our modus operandi for many years, and now we have brought in teaching and learning and supporting instruction in the classroom. So Teaching and Learning in Fragile Contexts have four major pillars: literacy, gender-responsive pedagogy, active learning strategies, and differentiation. And we believe that a blending and connection and synthesis of those four can bring about major learning successful outcomes for our students. The TLFC project is being funded by Global Affairs Canada, who is a long-standing partner with Code in much of the work that we're doing across Africa. They are an important partner in the work, and they believe exactly as we do that strong foundations in classrooms build strong learners.
My letter here is letter S.
Yes.
And the sound is
Yes.
and okay. If I add it to this word, it becomes sign.
Let us say the word together.
Sign. Beginning with what letter? S. And the sound is?
Our organization's name is the Association of Language and Literacy Educators, Reading Sierra Leone, acronym TLFC. We've been working internally with local partners and also partners outside. We have partners that are supporting us quite recently, and some of them we are a decade old now, especially with one named Code Canada. The project is also focusing on research, because you know that whatever you do, if you don't have a research component that will lubricate to bring in enough material that especially had to do with within the fragile context we are talking about, because we have at least some crisis barriers that haunt education. So the project has included research for it to be able to have evidence-based, investigation into how those communities, especially those who are endangered in war areas, how they are able to support themselves in education. And we know that us in Sierra Leone, we are working together, not alone, but also with our local organization called We Care in Liberia.
We Care Foundation is a local non-profit organization in Liberia, West Africa. We Care over the last 34 years have been focusing on literacy. Code Canada has been a partner of We Care for more than 16 years. Currently, we are together in partnership with TOL and Sierra Leone. We are implementing the project Teaching and Learning in Fragile Contexts. The goal of this project is to improve the learning outcome of reading and writing of children. That is what they need to be able to continue learning literacy. We also have a focus on gender inclusiveness, so we have gender responsive pedagogy. In order for children to take ownership of their own learning, we said that learning should be active, it should be participatory, so we put in active and participatory learning strategies. Now, children learn in different areas, children have different abilities, so we put in differentiated learning. All of these come together to improve the instruction, to improve the performance of teachers in the classroom.
The TLFC project aims in training students, the teacher educators, which are the beneficiaries of the project. However, we can never have successes without having challenges. Of course, we encountered some challenges in implementing these activities during the process. One of the challenges we had was, since we are working with 4 teacher institutions, which are the Freetown Polytechnic, Ebicos in Port Loko, we had the NUBC, which is Jala University Bo Campus, and ETU in Kenema. So we had a program wherein we had to do an harmonized rubric for classroom observation. So we had challenges where in most of these colleges they were using different forms of classroom observation.
The first in the workshop were like in two parts. Okay, we had the briefing section where we went to training and we refreshed ourselves on the importance of literacy and how it helps teachers and students to be able to achieve their necessary goals. So after that, we went into what we call practicum or practice, wherein we gathered some teachers and then we give the necessary skills that teachers can use when it comes to implementing literacy within every content area. And now, why is this workshop important? Or why is the issue of literacy, having a workshop or training on literacy? Because Liberia and Sierra Leone, they are lacking behind when it comes to children learning to read. There are many, if they can read, they cannot comprehend. And there are many also who, if they can comprehend, they are unable to read. And you need that for someone to be illiterate or to have a proper education. So this workshop actually talked about that, and it provided teachers and trainers the necessary skills they would need to drive literacy across content area.
So what stood up for you in this lesson that you took?
Basically what came up and my learning outcomes was to make sure that some words have syllables, so you need to break them up before you pronounce them. And also, you should use that word as a dictionary word to hunt for words or to learn how to spell those words, maybe the pronunciation that will develop your literacy, you know.
One thing I learned is the uses of text. We were taught in our previous lesson how to use text and the types of text. That is, we have commercial text and we have local text. I am so happy to learn that we use the resources within our reach, which is costless, to make local text. And if I go to my school, I will try to educate my practicum teachers on the uses of local and commercial text. Because in some schools, some of them are not opportune to have this commercial text because of the cost. But being that I've learned how to make local text and incorporate them in my teaching lesson, I will surely propagate that idea. Another thing I learned is incorporating literacy in other subjects. That is, you may be teaching social studies and at the same time, you'll be able to incorporate vocabulary building using the different strategies. So I'm so happy. And when I go to my school, I will make sure I teach my teachers, more so the practicum teachers, on ideas I have learned.
I was well pleased with this particular training because I have come to learn something good, and these 2 days really means a lot to me because there are things that I have already come across that I have never in my life, okay? Like the word building, then the semantic map, you understand? Those are things that I have never. I have come maybe I have saw them or hear people talking about them, you understand? But where truth is concerned, I have never understand that, okay, this is how we are going to do it, this is the way, but I have learned a lot really.
With the TLFC project, one of the things that we have worked on trying to improve is understanding that literacy is across all disciplines and content areas. One of the important things to understand, especially for teachers who teach across subject areas and even for specialist teachers, is that literacy can be approached from many different areas. The Honorable Conrad Saki told us a few days ago that one of the things that has been a problem across the two countries, Liberia and Sierra Leone, is that students may be able to call words, but are not making meaning or comprehending what they're reading. So we're working hard within this project to work with pre-service teachers, in-service teachers, head teachers, and with teacher educators to be sure that we are all working collaboratively together to create environments, text-rich environments that support literacy learning and differentiated instruction and inclusion, and through active learning and gender-responsive pedagogy. We look forward to seeing the results of this coming year, but knowing that we'll be adaptive and responsive in what we do. The key component in all of that is ensuring that we are instilling agency in our educators so they can make those contextualized, adaptive decisions they need to make in response to the students in their classrooms.